Hello, my friends. I apologize for the long gap between things, but it's summer in Minnesota, and we're adults with lives. Um, so, real quick, before we jump into it, a couple of quick housekeeping things. Unfortunately, Jess had a minor emergency. Everybody's okay, but could not make it last minute. So we are going to be going ahead and recording without Saral. Kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. Um, we are going to press ahead as best we can and wish her the best of luck. I also wanted to real quick go over. I was reached out to by a game design company who has a new game coming out, and they asked if I would uh, play their game, play test their game, and kind of review it on my various social media channels, TikTok and what
What's
have you.
the what's
Um,
the name of the company?
uh, Fuck if I can't read shit, man.
I'm sorry, I'm evil. I'm really not sorry.
It just says created by James and Andrew Mayer.
Okay.
I will have more info. Literally got this box yesterday. Actually, no, I got this box. It came yesterday. I got it this morning.
That's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
so I will do a more in depth thing, but I just wanted to show it off a little bit. It's called Doomlings. The little tagline is a delightful card game about the end of the world. I don't know anything about it, but the vibe I'm getting is like Munchkin meets Pokemon. So pretty excited to give it a try. The local crew and I will spin it up at some point, and I will do a more in depth uh, talking about it at a future point. But I'm looking forward to that. I just got really excited when this came today, and I had to show it off to y'all. So yeah, that's all I got. Go for it, Brian.
Well, welcome back, everybody. As we do hopefully final conclusion of this small arc of the Gravendale interludes here, as we last left off, our stalwart adventurers had traveled through the Badlands in search of various missing people and friends, family, and loved ones, um, and managed to rescue several, as well as make some allies and maybe some enemies along the way. Um, More on the ally side, but there you are. But the most recent event was the visitation by the goddess Lunatara, who happened to visit her brother in his mortal shell, and proceeded to kind of sort of delightfully tease and torture the lot of you into uh, convincing, well, not really a whole lot of convincing, to stop to help save Ekris's people, his many of his tribe members who were taken and sold via some goblin slavers and jerks, to be used as what you now know is to be a sacrifice to summon forth an old god. Because in the world of Gravendale, currently there's the triumvirate of gods, Zaratsu, who's kind of the Lord of Order, for lack of a better term. That's probably not the official term for him, but I'll say it because why not? There's Karuth, who's sort of the kind of the middle ground, so to speak, and then there's Lunatara, which is the goddess of chaos, for lack of a better term. And so, yes, proceeded in her lovely chaosness to suggest that maybe you should help Ekris's people as they were being sacrificed to summon forth an old god, a drow god, a horrible drow god. Insert name of drow god here, which I'll let you all figure out, because if you're D&D fans, then you know, and if you're not D&D fans, then you don't know, and it makes it even more horrible. So, going to give a quick...
Brunhilde, the Drow goddess? Brunhilde,
Yes,
right?
that one.
Yes,
Yeah,
the friendly mead offering, sharing drow goddess. I love this
Spider
breath.
drow, spider drow. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of talk here as a disembodied head while I quickly kind of show the map a little bit. So the Lunatar brought you forth to this growing island out of the sea that looks, oddly enough, like it's almost like a spider rising out of the depths, which if you look at my little background video for my screen, you can get an idea of what it'll look like later. But for right now, think more like lava and bubbling and rising from the waters. But there are several kind of ruins and things of that nature sort of coming up from the sea, from the depths. So kind of in the back, where everything kind of started, we do have Fuelin being surrounded by a couple of drow at kind of a camp area. There's a right over here is like a little wagon where they had stuff, but you can see there are some pillars starting to rise out of the ground as well. Whereas for the and then Ekris in green here with Ludema in purple at the end there. A little bit closer towards there we go. A little bit closer towards the head of the line here, we've got Kai currently surrounded by a couple of drow and what appears to be a Dragoloth, which is a form of drow demon, for lack of a better term. Several more drow down to the south. Fenrir is currently locked in combat with another Dragoloth. And then kind of sneaking ahead over here at this sort of plinth where where everything's kind of taking place, we've got Siral, who is attempting to try and catch up with a currently unconscious Tink.
I immediately regret my decision.
Who is currently being dragged via the guy's whip by this gentleman here, which is kind of hard to see, but with the red, but to a pool of, you're guessing, some sort of ritual sacrifice being run by, with a ritual being run by these two Drider females that seem to be doing this ritual that is causing the island to rise and the drow goddess to be resurrected. So let's see, I think that kind of catches us up for the most part. We are in the middle of combat. People have been injured. We've kind of already discussed a little bit about spells and stuff that have happened, and I think we can just begin. So top of the round is going to be...
It's Tink. It's
Tink
my first death save. Yep.
Hmm.
I don't have, advantage or... Nope.
Whoa, but if you roll a 20, you're back at 1 hit point.
No, I rolled it too.
Okay, so that would unfortunately be a failure. Now, is that your... That was my first round. Okay. Then that will be it for Tink, so that makes it a quick turn. Then I believe it is Ekris with Fuelin on deck.
Yep, so the dude with the little red token around him is one of our players. What's the big guy right kitty corner to him? That
is one of the Dragoloths. They are the kind of, for lack of a better term, they're sort of a half Glabrazu, half drow. Yeah, they're like this four-armed demonic monstrosity. They're kind of horrible. Here's kind of a black and white photo to sort of see what they kind of look like.
Now, I had cast Guiding Bolt on one of them. Can we, and hit it successfully? Can we say it was that one because it was closest to me?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Okay, then we're going to cast another Guiding Bolt on it, which means I get to attack it with advantage this time. I'm going to cast it as a 3rd level.
Okay.
I get... Shit, that cocked.
Is it an attack roll or...
It is an attack roll, yeah. 25 total.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Right. So that's for 15, excuse me. 19, 5, 30 points of radiant damage. At which...
Okay,
What?
so it is still up,
Okay.
but this thing, as the skies almost open up, and this like beam of radiant energy comes down and fries this thing, and you just see its skin is all just burnt, and like when the light sort of fades, you just see glowing ashen patches of skin and fur on this thing as its entire body is just covered in burns, and it is not happy at all because they don't have resistance against radiant damage, and it roars out in pain, and then as it's done, kind of like getting those death glare out, it just stares daggers at you.
Great. At which point, Ekris is going to move 30 feet to the southwest. Kind of at a diagonal. Yeah, that's Ekris. Kind of 30 feet to the southwest.
30 feet would get you like right there.
Yeah, that's fine. He's trying to put other people between him and the Dragoloth. And then he's going to move with a bonus action. He's going to move the spirit totem 30 feet, basically directly forward to put it more towards where most of his allies are.
Okay, so kind of in the same space as a little bit as a.
So we've done the bonus action movement. Yep, that's Ekris's turn.
All right. After Ekris, we've got Phelan.
Excellent. Phylan is going to try to even the odds between the people around him and himself. So he's going to go ahead and reckless attack some of them.
Okay.
Starting with whichever one seems more injured, if any of them are currently at all injured.
Actually, this one here, closest to the wagon, actually seems a bit more injured.
All right. I am going to recklessly attack him.
Okay.
And that is a 23 to hit.
Yes, that is a.
Oh, beautiful. So that will be. Wait, what's the damage? I want to check that for rage. +2. So that will be 18 damage.
That one is dead.
And then I will recklessly attack another one.
Let me just rephrase. You didn't just knock them down to 0 hit points. They're dead. Even if we're using kind of the same like dead rules as players, they are like dead.
So very much cleaved apart.
Yeah. In fact, whoever you're hitting next gets the full brunt of the attack. The guy you just hit was the afterthought. Was like you weren't even thinking about that person as you went through them to the person you actually wanted to hit. They just happened to be in the way.
They just got in the way of the wind-up.
Right. Exactly.
All right, so second attack roll is another 23 to hit.
Yes, that will also hit. Let's see.
And that one will do 16 points of slashing damage.
Which one of these do you want to choose?
We'll do the one furthest away.
This one?
From the rest of the... Yeah, we'll do that one.
That one is also no more.
All right, and then I'm just going to turn to face the last one that was surrounding me and just kind of bare my teeth and snarl.
And the best part is it's kind of as you finish your blow through with the axe that all the viscera hits the third guy like right in the face. Because the amount of damage you did, like, yeah. So, and then when you start roaring at them and the spittle and the whatever hits them, And you have your werewolf senses, so you're pretty sure they shat themselves. Like it's
Then my work here is almost done.
almost all right. Is there anything else you would like to do, Fuelin? Because you still have a bonus and a move if you.
That is a good question. I suppose it'd be better to put myself a little bit closer to the rest of the combat so I don't have to move further later. So I'm going to kind of loop around behind him a little bit and
Do you want
kind of
go like there or
yeah,
there?
yep, right there.
So like that?
Yep,
Okay.
just loop around behind him.
Easily
is there anything
done.
else I can do as a bonus action? No, I'm already raging. Nope, I think that will be all I do this round.
Okay. Then it is Kai.
How far am I from Tink?
You are.
I went pretty far up there.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85-ish?
Kai is going to move and dash. I'm aware this is going to provoke
Okay.
towards Tink.
All right, let me do the attacks real quick here. So for the 2 drow that are on you, does a 21 hit you?
Yep.
So that'll be 5 piercing damage, and then does a 19 hit you?
Yep.
That will also be 5 piercing damage.
I will remind you that I am in my combat trance, so that is halved.
Okay. And then the Dragoloth is going to swing at you with a claw. Does a 13 hit you?
It does not.
Okay. All right, so you want to move and dash. Now, just to know there is some kind of lava here, so you may have to do some jumping or...
Yeah, I'll move and do just a kind of a, like, because it's more than 10 feet, so I can get a long jump on there.
You absolutely can.
My strength is 20, so I can clear all 20 feet in a long jump. Because that's how D&D jumping rules work. For some inexplicable reason.
So what is your speed?
My speed is 30, so if I move and dash, it'll get me 60.
Okay, so 30, 40, 45, 50, 55. So 60 would get you right about there, right, kind of right next to this pillar. Can you see that okay?
But that's fine. I couldn't see it before.
It's fair. So you're actually about, I know Sorrel's flying, so they're up just a little bit, but you're actually fairly close to Sorrel.
All right, and I'm another, 25 away from the dude that's dragging Tink?
20, 30, yeah, about 35 with the uphill, we'll call it 40.
That's not what I wanted, but that's okay. I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
Oh, I'm moving more. You don't want to sit down yet.
Fair.
I'm going to action surge. Sorry, I should have said that. I'm going to move up another 30. I'm going to bonus action do bolster morale. So I heal 1d10 plus 6 hit points, and any up to 3 allies within 60 feet of me heal 6. So I'm going to designate Tink as one of those 3 allies.
So you would be able to hit... you'd be able to hit Sorrel and Tink.
Okay. I genuinely don't think... Oh, no, Sorrel's hurt. Yeah, let's hit both of them. Holy shit. I didn't realize that Sorrel was that fucked up.
Fenrir is just slightly out of range of that.
Alright, so Sorrel and Tink can heal 6. I will... I'll worry about Saral here in a second. So yeah, basically I charge forward, moving further and faster than would normally be considered, within normal human capability. Kind of growl out the corner of my mouth, "Nobody is dying today," which is what triggers the second wind. I would like to throw, if you'll let me, an intimidate check on the dude that is dragging Tink, more as I'm a bigger threat than what I'm going to fuck up your day if you don't come at me right now sort of situation.
Okay. I don't even think you necessarily have to roll intimidate. He reads the body language.
Okay. Sounds good.
Of the giant man with the great sword charging straight towards him.
And then I'm ready, because I still have that action. I'm gonna ready to hit him when he comes close.
Well, you moved, dashed, and then you action surged, which was another move.
Yes. Oh, I suppose that would have taken my attack action. So yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, that ends Kai's turn.
All right. And Kai is up to fight the big guy. Ludema is next with Fenrir on deck. So Ludema, let me adjust the. Just to give you an idea, because you're kind of off the map slightly, I'm just going to put this here for right now. You are about 10, 20, 30, you're about 30 feet away from right here. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm putting this here just to show you where you are
Right.
on the map. If
Okay.
that helps.
Yeah, it does. The one dragging Tank, is that within 120 feet?
You would definitely need to move up. You're not. Well, you definitely would need to move up because right now they are out of range.
Okay.
You don't know if you do a move action to move up, you might be in range, but we'd have to double check.
Okay, well, because the range is 120 feet, so.
Right.
Okay.
So just to give you an idea, the length of this thing right here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that's 60 feet.
Okay.
So right now you are definitely out of range, but if you moved up, if you did at least a move, you may be in range to hit the guy.
Okay. Well, closer enemies. Fenrir, sorry.
Fenrir's fighting this guy.
Okay.
And there are some drow taking pot shots at Fenrir as well, because although they may decide differently now that Ekris is there.
Let me go after the closer drow that are taking pot shots at Fenrir.
Okay.
It's gonna be. Actually, no. I want to go after the big guy attacking Fenrir.
Okay. And that one is definitely within 120.
Okay. So that's going to be chill touch. Give me one. Oh, that's not going to hit. 8.
Now, is it a touch spell or does it have a range?
It has a range of 120 feet.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're shooting that Dragoloth, and what did you get for an attack roll?
8 total.
Okay, unfortunately, an 8 is not going to hit.
No.
Okay.
I do want to go ahead and move 30 feet to be closer.
Okay. Do you want to just kind of move straight up, so to speak?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah, straight up.
Okay, so straight up will get you about there.
Okay, that works.
And I think you're on the map. You can see that, right?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah. And that's my turn.
Okay. Let's see who's. So after Ludema is Fenrir. All right. Well, Fenrir is gonna try to hurt the Dragoloth before the Dragoloth kills him, because that's the thing. Oh, nat 20, nat 20. Okay, that's good. Right, so Fenrir hits with every damn bite, and he is... let's see, so plus another 2d6. So that's 18. Dear Lord, 18 plus 20, so 38. Or 38 plus 10, so 48 damage. Okay. Now I gotta do math. Yay! Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm doing math. So you can see the Dragoloth take a swing at Fenrir, and Fenrir, instead of kind of ducking away from it, dives in and just savages its arm, and you actually hear kind of a snapping a little bit as the Dragoloth pulls its arm back, but it's kind of bent a little crookedly and not in a natural way. And then swings in with the other claw, and again Fenrir just tears into it, and then as it sits there and kind of reels back in a lot of pain, Fenrir then bites it one more time, just as almost kind of an afterthought. And so now both of the Dragoloths are looking pretty beasted. And then it is the Driders. They cast a spell. The whole place shakes. I need everybody to make a dexterity save, except for Tink, because you're already prone.
$20.
20 is good.
18.
Sorry, what was that?
18 for Kai.
Kai is good.
Is this a dex save against an effect that I can see?
Yes. Your danger sense would count towards this.
Excellent.
I mean, the whole island is shaking. It's kind of hard not to see it.
Oh, that's still not great. 11.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead for Ekris.
18 for Ekris as well.
Ekris is okay. Phelan, unfortunately, does fall prone.
If that's all, I can live with it.
And I think that was... And then Sorrel's flying in the air, doesn't matter. Okay. Although, you notice, for a moment, you think Sorrel has maybe dropped in elevation a little bit until you realize, no, it's not that Sorrel's dropped in elevation, it's that the island is rising. And we'll leave it at that. So that is the Driders. Then it is going to be Sorrel with the Dragoloths on deck.
Okay. Sorrel is going to shout something to the effect of, "That's rude!" and then fly up to compensate for the height that she lost. She's over... Sorry, go ahead.
I forget how high up she was, but I think she was maybe level with this.
Sure.
I
It's really
think.
more of a story effect that she just flies up to compensate, so
That's fair.
do as you will. And she's kind of up where, like, Kai and Tink are, correct?
Yeah, so Sorrel's right here. And 10, 20, like... Kai and Tink are about... Kai is about 30 feet in front of you, actually directly in front of you on the stairs. And Tink is about 35 feet and kind of prone right here.
is she within 60 feet of the person dragging Tink?
Yes. Easily.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw against an enchantment spell. I will explain what happens momentarily. The DC is 16.
Is it versus a charm?
I don't know. Give me a second. It is an enchantment spell, so I'm going to go with probably.
Okay, but I guess as far as in the description of the spell,
It is not like a charm person or a charm monster.
If it's not a charm person or charm monster where it gives a charmed effect or the charmed condition, then I would say no, it does not count.
There you go. Then it is not. It is not.
What was the DC?
16.
So that would be a 13, so they fail.
So she says something to the effect of, "It's rude," flies up, looks at the guy that has been dragging Tink, and then in her Sorrel voice, which I can't get nearly enough to approximating in the condition that I'm in currently, but says something to the effect of, "You've heard of everyone lives today, get on your knees," and casts command.
Okay.
So his command is to get on his knees.
Okay, and when it becomes his turn...
Your sound keeps cutting out, babe.
Mine does?
Your mic.
Yeah, it does cut out
I'll
a
fuck
little
with
bit.
it, but yeah, so that's what she's gonna do there. That's an at-will
Nice.
spell. Fucking fuck.
Okay.
It's just I don't know if yeah. That's just insane.
Is it
New meaning to the
at will,
term
or is it a
bet.
bonus action? Or a bonus spell?
She does not. Well, but she does. Well, but it'd have to be. Give me 2 seconds.
No.
Sorry, I'm Jaegering a character I am not at all familiar with. So give me a moment.
And admittedly, her archetype is not one normally found on D&D Beyond. So,
Right. Yeah, for her archetype, it looks like it does make it an at-will first-level spell, which is
Okay, then
nasty.
there you go. That's all good.
It's at
Gives-
will, not a bonus action, so it still takes an action to do.
No, and that's fair.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. Okay.
Yep.
But
But it gives new meaning to the term battlefield control.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't fucking. Right, I'm sorry. So she's going to spend a sorcery point to quicken a cantrip and slap him in the
Okay.
face with a firebolt just to add insult to injury.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
25.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Where'd D10s go? There they were. Oh, like that. 18 points of fire damage.
Okay. Bryan, do the math. All right. He gets blasted in the chest, kind of scorched, and is not looking. And while primarily keeping eyes with Kai, who seems like the most immediate threat, does spare a glance of hatred towards Sorrel, because, you know, he doesn't like that. Oh shit, I missed the house captain. Well, screw it. So the house captain, his turn, bends the knee. Alright. Dragoloths, moving on. The Dragoloths. So the one is going to attack Fenrir. So I'm going to do that real quick.
Who's watching the stream, I am aware that things shifted. I am working on it now. Bear with me.
That'll hit, that'll hit. That will miss, however. It's got hit with a bite and with a claw, so that's 16 because he is raging. math. There we go. So savages some claws back into Fenrir, but Fenrir, even profusely bleeding from these wounds, just sits there roaring back in defiance. As far as that Dragoloth. Now the other Dragoloth, the one that was damn near destroyed by Ekrus, goes burp, and then is going to go, let's see, what's their speed? Oh yeah, okay. 5, 10. And moves up to Ekrus, and
Hold up. Does that provoke from Fenrir as he's going by? Because Fenrir has reach?
Fenrir does not have reach, so no, it does not.
I thought as a large creature you had a reach of 10.
No. Just because creatures are a 10 by 10 foot space does not necessarily mean they have reach.
Oh, shit. All right.
And in fact, even certain dragons only like their bite attack because it's on their neck will necessarily get a further reach than like their claws or whatnot. But no, Fenrir does not have reach, so Fenrir is not affected. This guy, however, is then going to looks down upon you and then looks over at your fellow tribes members that are kind of chained and shackled to the walls of the ruins and goes and says in a language that do you happen to understand Abyssal? Starts rasping some horrible nasty stuff that makes your ears want to bleed, let's put it that way, and then begins to attack you. Does a 17 hit?
Sorry, no, it does not.
Okay, so comes in with a bite and just barely misses. And got a 1 with one of its claws, so that misses. But then with its other claw, as you kind of duck out of the way of that one, its other car slashes up and hits an AC 21. Does that hit you?
It does hit, yes.
And rakes across your chest, digging into your flesh for 16 points of slashing damage. And that is it for them. And then we've got some drow, which I believe end the bottom of the round here. So I'm going to start with the one on Foylan. Since Foylan is prone, that drow is going to attack you because they do follow the philosophy of kick them while they're down, or in this case, stab them.
Then you already had advantage on me, so.
Right, yeah, I can't get more advantage, but sadly, even with the advantage, the highest they rolled was a 13.
Ooh, that'll miss.
Admittedly, his foot slips out from underneath him, and as you wonder why, and as you kind of look why, as the blade lands, like digs into the ground in front of you, you can smell the reek of the diarrhea of scared shit. Literally, is what the guy slipped on. As there you go.
Oh.
These two are gonna move up because they saw what you did to their brother, and they are brothers and whatnot, and they are also going to try to shank you with short swords.
All right.
Wow, they are rolling low. So an 11 is the highest there, and a 13 is the highest there, and like you're on the ground, and you're almost kind of like, but you're still enraged. So it's almost like you're rolling on the ground and like punching the ground because you're angry that the ground was disrupting your flow of battle by knocking you to the ground. So you're like punching the ground and rolling and growling at it, and like they can't hit you because you're just kind of going, and you're just in sort of berserker frenzy mode. Like it's.
I'm honestly just imagining Foylan in his hybrid form, just like furiously break dancing and avoiding all of these blades trying to come down on him.
Which is kind of how it is. Now the other three are going to attack at Fenrir like they've been doing with their crossbows.
I genuinely feel now that Fuelan has to take at least a level of bard so you can rage breakdance.
Berserker breakdancing is absolutely my headcanon now for Foilon. When he's not in his fuck pants.
Okay. So the other 3 shoot crossbow bolts at Fenrir. Only one seems to land in so much that it doesn't bounce off of his fur. And that is it for them. So it is top of the next round, which is Tink. Tink, you have hit points.
I have hit points.
You and you still feel the whip kind of wrapped around your throat, although it's not taunt.
Yeah.
Because you see, in fact, as you kind of look up, your eyes open, and you look up, you see Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And when your eyes kind of go up past this way, you see the drow captain on one knee looking daggers at him.
I like this. Can I tell how he's looking rough? Like bloodied rough? Like
I wouldn't necessarily go that far.
Okay.
But he's got a few hits on him, and you've done some, and you've
all right.
punched the crap out of him a bit. And he seems a little burnt. Or not punched, you hit with the hammer, that's right.
I sure did. Remind me, is there anything, are there any combatants up on the platform behind him?
There are 2 Driders that are currently in a ritual.
Oh, right.
And they are right here, if you can see where I'm pointing.
I can't quite see there, but that's fine. That's fine.
I can actually move this slightly. If I get my head out of the way, that would help.
Okay, cool. All right, so Tink. Okay.
You can see one of them. Okay, well, there's one a little bit further back that way.
Yeah, that's fine. So Tink is gonna, prior to even getting up, is going to use Wholeness of Body, and regain 21 hit points.
Nice.
Because I can.
And is that a bonus action then?
It is unfortunately my action.
It is an action. Okay.
I am going to stand.
Okay.
And then, if I may, so my walking speed is 45 feet. So I'm assuming standing takes 20 feet of that. Do I have 25 feet left, or do I have 20 left? Okay.
I'd say you have 25 left. That's fine.
I would like to get... Can I get up the stairs and to the north side of that red pillar I see right there? I can't quite tell where the squares are.
No, that's fine. So you're right here. So if you went 5, 10, 15... So you want to go like right here?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. He is going to take a swing at you with his scimitar.
I was hoping he wouldn't have a reaction if he was commanded to kneel, but...
Does command get rid of their reaction?
I don't know.
That is a damn good question. I will give you an answer here in just a second.
I mean, I'll take the attack of opportunity, but...
I will roll to see if he even hits, because it may be a moot point anyway, but then before we apply damage, if he hits, we'll find out.
My AC is 19.
Right, never mind. All right. Swing and a miss, but truthfully, it's probably not a bad thing for us to look up for.
Yeah. And then,
so real fast, they are not stunned, but since they are under the effects of the spell, they cannot take aggressive reactions.
Oh, okay. So he wouldn't have been able to swing anyway.
Okay.
It didn't matter because he did not hit regardless, but now we know.
Remind me of your rule, Brian. Is taking a potion myself a bonus action?
Drinking it yourself, I think we said, is usually a move.
Okay.
If you're doing it to yourself, it's an action to force it down someone else's throat.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry. Whew.
I just want to say, for the record, you going mute and then like all that before the sneeze was probably the tensest moment I feel so far in the game. I'm for it. I'm all for it.
You're all welcome. There was a lot that went into that. That was a big sneeze. Okay. I will then just in case, it's probably not even necessary, but I am going to as a bonus action. Where'd my shit go? As my bonus action, I am going to spend a key point to take patient defense.
Okay.
That'll be Tink's turn. Just as added flavor, because Tink is really unhappy about all of this. As he kind of like flits by, like, very graceful bird-like monk-ish, whatever. Just like snarls something at the house captain in Dwarvish. It's a very low Dwarvish.
Scuppergill.
So, I doubt that the house captain speaks Dwarven, but
He does not,
okay.
in point of fact.
And it doesn't matter.
After Tink, then, I believe, is Ekris with Phelan on deck.
So how bad is this Dragoloth looking?
Messed up. Angry, but messed up. Like, you can tell as it's sitting there, and granted, as it's licking your blood off of its claws in an attempt to intimidate, you, being a healer, can see the subtle signs that, like, parts of his muscles are still kind of twitching in pain, and like it's putting on a good show of intimidation because it's a demon that's been used to doing this for its entire existence. But you can tell it is very beat up.
Okay.
Bloodied, if you wanted to give it the... Definitely bloodied. Very, very bloodied.
Very, very bloodied. All right, I'm trying to figure out how much more damage this thing can soak up before I kill it. So, we're just going to keep spamming that attack because it seems to be doing well for me so far. So I'm going to mark off another casting of Guiding Bolt against it.
Okay.
And I get an advantage again on it because I hit.
Well, actually, it's going to be an even roll because you are technically doing a ranged attack while you are in a melee.
Oh, okay.
So
Sure.
the advantage... So normally that would give disadvantage, and with your advantage, it's just going to make it a straight roll.
All right, great. Does a 21 hit?
Yes. I mean, the problem of being the size of a horse is that you are the size of a horse and easy to hit, usually.
24... 26... Oh, sorry, no, 24... 29 points of damage.
In the immortal words of Matthew Mercer, how do you want to do this?
So this thing just went up to me, started garbling at me in Abyssal, which I don't understand. And Ekris, feeling a little bit pissed off at the whole situation because these are his people, he says, "You sound like you have something in your throat. And then let me take care of that for you." And then just blasts a gaping hole in his throat and literally just decapitates the thing.
Okay.
So as that thing falls, Ekris is then going to skirt behind Fenrir.
Okay.
Kind of staying out of range of the Drow's attacks of opportunity.
Sure. Do you want to be like... you'll definitely be out of the Drow's.
Yeah, we'll get that square is perfect. Yeah.
You want to go there?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's movement, action, and then again as a bonus action, he's going to move the totem even further forward to. He probably can get it close to where Saral is. Is that what the pink one is?
Yeah. What's your movement with it?
It's 30 feet. I can move it up to 30 feet.
30 feet would put it right there.
Yeah, so that's where he'll move it for now. I should probably remind everyone what actually that does, because it's a good thing. So that does. Oh, I can actually move it within. Oh wait, no, I can move it as. I can actually move it up to 60 feet. Holy shit! All right, so I've been doing that wrong, but that's fine. So basically, what it does, it gives advantage on all ability checks made to detect creatures within 30 feet of the spirit. So if there's like an invisible creature or something like that, something hiding, they get advantage on that.
Okay.
Cool. And that will end Ekris's turn.
All right. Then after Ekris, we've got Phelan with Kai on deck.
All right. Phelan is going to finish up his combat breakdancing. And use some of his movement to stand up.
Okay, so just to note that you're at half your move now.
That's totally fine.
I didn't think you were going to mind too terribly much, right?
Yeah, no. And then Phelan is going to start swinging for the fences again, starting with the one furthest away from Fenrir, kind of the one that was...
This one here?
Yep, that guy. And we're just going to recklessly attack again, because that was working well for us before.
Sure.
That will be a 26 to hit.
That will hit.
Not a great roll, but 10 damage.
Okay, that one is number 1. Okay. That one is still up.
And we attack him again.
Definitely bloody.
That one is a 17 to hit.
That will also hit.
And he will take another 9 points of damage.
Yeah, that'll finish him. That'll finish him off.
And then...
So I've got 1, 2. I guess I do have 5. Okay, I must have miscounted them.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to move 5 feet south. Not going to provoke any attacks that way, but also just a little bit closer to everybody else.
That's fair.
And Phelan will kind of turn to the newcomers to the fight. And again, kind of bare his teeth and snarl at the new guys.
Nice.
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat. All right. After Phelan is Kai with the house captain on deck.
Yes, Kai is going to close the distance between himself and said house captain.
Okay. Do you want to be at the top of the steps? Where the captain is?
I would like to be on an even ground with him, so yes.
Okay. So for whatever that's worth, it's about 10 feet of movement. Not that I think it's going to probably matter much.
Not going to matter, because now I'm going to fuck up his day. So I also swing for the fences. I'm going to take 2 attacks. I am going to be... Ooh, did I take that feat? Hang on. Sorry, it's been a minute since we played these characters.
What?
Alright, I'm going to do Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
Does a 22 hit him?
Yes.
Does a... so fucking close. Hang on. Do I get something that gives me a crit on a 19? I'm assuming a 28 hits him.
Yes.
Let me see if I get a crit on a 19 for some fucking reason. Sorry, that wouldn't be a 28. That would be a 23 because I was using Great Weapon Master.
You still hit.
Okay. No crit, but I still hit.
So you hit him twice.
I hit him twice with Great Weapon Master. Magical damage. First one is going to be... Let me math real quick. I'm just rolling on the die roller. Oh, that was shitty. Yeah, that wasn't terrible, I suppose. 21 for the first.
Okay.
And 22 for the second.
Okay, he is bloodied now.
I fucking hope so. That is going to be Kai's turn.
After Kai is going to be the house captain.
Yasha would like to say hello.
Oh, what a cutie.
Hey, Yasha, that's the kitty. That's the other kitty that I'm adopting.
Yeah.
You're adopting the Yasha? Cute.
He is
I'm
adopting the Yasha.
Yep.
That's cute. Now I'm gonna.
They're gonna be a monstrous cat. I cannot wait.
So the drow captain starts swinging at you with his scimitar. Does a 17 hit you?
It does, yes.
So that'll be 7 slashing and 14 poison damage.
Yay!
And then does I'm guessing a 26 will then hit you.
Yeah, yes, decidedly so.
So 7 more slashing and 14 more poison. And then he tries to whip you with his whip, but that does not, being that you're the closeness that you are, does not hit you with the whip. But as he sits there with, blood-stained lips from all the injuries that all of you have put upon him, he just kind of spits blood at you and starts swearing and what you're guessing is undercommon?
Fair.
If one knew undercommon? Does anyone here know undercommon?
No.
Well, some sort of weird foulish language that sounds like, drunken Klingons. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So after the captain, it is then going to be Ludema with Fenrir on deck.
Okay. I'm going to try Chill Touch again.
Okay, and who are you trying to hit?
I am going to go after one of the drow, like one of the drow that's closer to me, like the southmost.
Are you like one of these down here?
Yes.
Okay. And those are just the regular drow. Go ahead.
11.
Oh, sorry. Sadly, 11's not going to hit.
Nope. So that's my turn.
Here's the thing: they are agile little buggers.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's almost like you almost think like they aren't paying attention and like you're going to get them, but drow society is all about backstabbing people, so their reflexes are pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
So that was your action. You do have like a move and a bonus. Do you want to do anything else?
I could get. I do want to get closer.
Okay.
So, I kind of want to make my way towards one of the furbolgs that are.
So they are kind of chained up here.
Yeah.
And also some in there, kind of on the south end.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I want to stay out of attack of opportunity range, but I want to make my way towards the chained ones to free them.
So you can definitely get out of these. These drow won't be in range to melee attack if you wanted to. You want to just kind of move like diagonally up, or kind of
diagonally would be
good. Okay, so
30 feet is my.
And you just want to move on like the straight diagonal then?
Yes.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 will get you to about there.
Okay.
Does that work for you?
Yep, it does.
All right.
All right, and that's my turn.
All right, well, then I doth believe it is Fenrir's turn. All right. Well, Fenrir is going to reckless again and bite the crap out of this thing because it needs to die. And those are pretty sure going to hit. Yep, so those two will hit. So that will be 20 damage. And then actually to add insult to injury. Actually, no. Fenrir's going to just frenzy and get one more attack. So that'll be another 10. Alright, that Dragoloth is not looking great. Of course, neither is Fenrir, so there you go. So Fenrir keeps tearing chunks out of the demon. The demon slashes chunks out of Fenrir. It is what it is. All right. Then it is the Driders, I believe, are next. And they kind of hiss at you, even actually at you, Tink, as well as to at Kai, but they continue with their ritual, and I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw again.
Ekris got a 20.
You're good.
18
Well,
again.
You're good.
12.
Fenrir got an 18 this time. Or not Fenrir, Phelan got an 18 this time.
Okay.
26 for Tink.
Okay. So I believe Ludema is the only one to come crashing down. You do fall prone. Now, this particular time, though, like, earthquakes are very. Granted, I'm from Minnesota, so I'm only trying to pretend I can describe this. But earthquakes, are usually fairly kind of shocking and jarring in general. But in this particular time, there's a vehemence to it. Like the instead of just being like, bone shattering, it's almost like there's a venom to it. Like the island is trying to hurt you, and so. For oh god, so Ludema, you are going to take 12 damage, bludgeoning damage, while everyone else is going to take half that, which is 6. I don't
Hang
know
on.
if anyone has evasion at this point.
I was gonna say, do I have evasion? I don't remember.
I don't know if they
Saral
get
is
it.
off the ground. Does she also take this damage?
I'll say Saral takes half because there's literally like rocks and juts of earth that shoot up, so she'll take 3.
This is why I'm asking.
I do have evasion.
Okay, so you are fine, Tink. You
Good.
dope monk shit out of the way of that.
Dope monk shit. Like the Matrix.
You bullet time the hell out of it. But you can tell, and you all feel. You know how like when an elevator goes up at the first time and you feel that extra weight, especially if it's going up fast, you feel that as you feel that the island is increasing in size much more rapidly. And actually Kai and Tink, before you now see there's this sort of pulsing glow coming from that pool of blood, and it takes you a moment as you realize boom 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 as you feel this dull throb through your body as you realize it's kind of emanating out from this whole kind of elevated, ruined sort of platform. It feels like a gigantic heartbeat. That was it for the Driders. It is Saral with the Dragoloths on deck, or Dragoloth on deck.
So a note about this particular subclass that Saral has taken. Anytime she spends a sorcery point, she gets a number of temporary hit points equal to her level. This subclass
Nice.
is insane. And it's fucking great. But she is going to, seeing the Driders and their ministrations, realizing kind of what's at stake, she starts to do the somatic components of the spell, and as she's casting, she's like, "Stop trying to summon the Spider Queen. I've met her, and she's a bitch." Fireball goes off just kind of north, or I suppose west of the Driders, so as to not get Tink.
Okay, so basically just hitting the drow, or hitting the 2 Driders.
Correct. They need a dexterity save, DC 16.
One of them makes it, one does not.
Hey, let me roll some fire damage.
Because one got a 20 and the other one got a 5.
$28 total points of damage, so the one that rolled saved will take 14.
So how did I write that number? That's not the right number. Right, so that was the full hit one, and then okay. That's why I was getting the math wrong, because math. They both roar out in pain. Because, that hurt.
She's going to drop another sorcery point and quicken another firebolt at House Captain Douchebag over here.
A fire bolt?
Firebolt.
Okay.
You can crit on spells, right?
If it's an attack roll, you can crit on it.
Yep, so that's a nat 20 on her firebolt.
Okay.
So her, that'll be 4d10.
That's gross. I mean, good for her, but gross.
Pretty average damage. She did 21 points of fire damage to him.
There ain't nothing average about that. That's pretty badass damage, not gonna lie.
Well, out of a possible 40, she got a 21, so literally average damage. Or
I'll take it. Well, and so will the Drow Captain. Haha. The Drow Captain is still up, but the second time she throws a firebolt, admittedly, you know, he kind of slashed his scimitar twice, super in a rapid like swing swing, and kind of caught you in your abdomen, and you kind of creel back a little bit, Kai. And as he's sitting there smiling at you with the blood in his teeth, and you know, definitely injured, all of a sudden, like a big blast of flame hits him in the head, in the side of the head, causing his hair to just kind of go up like spider webs, and he just screams out in pain as he looks, as he's now got the, you know, like the Home Alone totally burnt hair, kind of, you know, like stubble hair thing, as he looks over with vehement intent towards Saral, because, you know, you're all pissing him off.
I gotta say, Kai is very quiet during combat. Like, he's a very, very more subtle counter to Fuelon, who's, I'm guessing, pretty loud when he's raging. But at this point, I think Kai starts laughing.
Okay.
It's not like a slow, menacing laugh. Like, it's a deep, like, belly, joyful laugh. Like, he's actually really enjoying himself right now.
Sure.
That's it.
Okay. Then I believe after Saral is the Dragaloth, who's going to attack the Fenrir while it still can. So bite attack. Yeah, that'll hit. And then 2 claw attacks. Oh, that'll miss, but that'll hit. So he got hit with a bite and a claw. Okay, so that's... brain math, you can do it. Yeah, okay. Fenrir is still up, but even this time, you know, you can see this thing also, you know, as much as Fenrir is given out, this guy is given back. And this last time, as he sinks its teeth into the kind of the back of Fenrir's neck, and then sort of as it's holding it there, kind of tries to grasp Fenrir's back with one claw, which doesn't seem to connect, but then kind of comes in almost with an undercut, using its claws almost like spears, and just impales into Fenrir. You hear, even with Fenrir's growls of rage, you hear a bit of you hear even Fenrir kind of whimper a little bit in pain. Like, Fenrir is pretty beat up at this point. So is the Dragaloth, mind you. They're actually damn near even Steven, but they are both looking pretty badly injured and beat up. That was it for the Dragaloth. So then it is the Drow. So the 2 Drow on Fuelin. We're going to start with them.
Fair.
Even their best roll is... Well, that one's best roll is a 13. Otherwise, he would have missed because he had a nat 1. But the other guy did get a 22 to hit you.
That one will hit.
That's 5 piercing damage.
Okay, and I'm raging, so we'll have that.
The other 3... They see Ekris is there, and they saw what he did, but they also see that the wolf is kind of at death's door, as well as the Flabberzu. Ekris, pick even or odd?
Even.
Okay, so ultimately they do decide that Fenrir is the worst target, because he's big and bad, and oh no, that's a crit. That's not good. Okay, so that will not hit. The crit will hit. And that one will hit. Okay, so that's going to be 5, 10, 14. Fenrir goes down. As you see, they unload crossbow bolts into Fenrir. Fenrir is unconscious, and you see, Ekris, you see the drow then look over towards you with a gleam of malice in their eye.
Bring it on.
And that'll be top of the round, which will be Tink with Ekris on deck.
Okay. Tink does not like these these are not nice dryads like Tink met.
Well, they're not. Well, yes, they are not like Alessandra at all. They are.
No.
They are more of your stereotypical riders of horribleness.
Yeah, I no likey. So our boy Tink here is gonna move to the one nearest him.
All right. Which you're only like 15 feet away. So,
Yep.
Do you want to be like right on this corner, or do you want to be further in that way?
Oh no, I do not want to be any closer to that creepy ass pool.
So right there.
That's fine.
Okay.
Actually, no. What's on the other side? What's on the west side of the Drider?
Let me.
Is it just an open?
Let me move the camera slightly
Okay.
to facilitate.
Whew.
That's not working the way I had planned. There we go.
Okay, so it's just open platform.
Yeah, I mean there are a couple of walls that are upright here,
Yeah.
and then there's
Okay.
this like river of lava. That's right. You know.
Oh, we like that better. Okay.
And actually, let me.
Can I be a space to the south?
Like so.
Yeah, just yep. Because the Driders are 10 by 10, yeah.
They are. Yep.
Cool.
They're about the size of a horse.
Awesome. All right. Here goes Tink. We're gonna hit. At least that's what we're telling ourselves. So first attack with the hammer is a dirty 20. Nope, sorry, 21 to hit.
That will hit.
Stunning strike.
Okay. Oh, I didn't actually number these guys. So, let me double check one thing real quick. To give them a quick ID, so I know. We'll call that one Blackfoot. Okay. So, real quick, pick even or odd.
Even.
Okay, so that's going to be the more injured one.
Okay.
Black, which means the other one is yellow. Okay, so go ahead and give me your damage first for that attack.
So that's 9 points of damage. It is magical damage.
Okay, and then it needs to make a con save.
Con save, yeah. DC 16.
Got a 15.
Yes, it is stunned until the end of my next turn.
Right.
I love this so much for me. Okay. I'm gonna hit it again. Stun doesn't end if I hit it, right?
No.
Okay.
Because it lasts until the
That's
end
until
of
the
your
end of my next
turn.
yeah. Okay, so let's hit it again. That's a 24 to hit, so that'll hit.
24.
Another 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Flurry of blows.
Okay.
23 to hit.
That'll hit.
It needs to make a strength saving throw, DC 16. And it is going to take...
Oh, does it get... it automatically fails strength and dex saving throws because it's stunned.
Yeah, it does. It takes 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And it is pushed 15 feet back.
Okay. So it is precariously on the edge of the platform.
Yeah, it is. I am going to move back up to it.
I would say for most, but it is done. Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I'm going to move the 15 feet up to it.
Okay.
And I'm going to take my other hit with Flurry of Blows. Does a dirty 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay, cool. It will get pushed another 15 feet back, so it's going to fall off that dais.
It is.
And it'll take 7 points of damage from my mighty fist.
Okay, so 7 more points of damage. So let's do this. Where are my notes here? Okay. I'm gonna go and say pick a even or odd again.
Even.
And I rolled a 2. All right. So you know this is Sparta her off of the edge of the cliff.
Fuck yeah, I do.
And
she's stunned, so she fails any dex save.
She just goes ploop into a big thing of lava, and you just hear her. Actually, you don't even hear her screech out in pain because you stunned her. So by the time the fire has lit up her body, you just see her. And very, very Terminator 2 style, as her hand sinks in, you just see this as she sinks in.
Fair. And then I am going to hiss at the other Drider whatever I heard the house captain curse at Kai. Because I don't have to fucking know what it means, but I can mimic it.
That's true. Very true. You heard it.
Yep. So I think it was 10 that it took me 10 to move up to it. I've moved another 15. So that's 25 of my 45. I'm going to move
5, 10. She was there. So 15.
Okay, 15 to there.
So 30. So you moved 30 so far.
Okay. I will move 15 then to the northeast. So 2 to the east, 1 to the north.
So kind of like right there?
No. 1 south of that.
2 to the east, 1 to the...
Yeah.
Right there?
No, you had it right, diagonal. There. Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
I'm assuming that the other Drider has hideous move speed, but maybe she won't notice me. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. After Tink.
'Tis me, Ekris. Ekris is going to...
Let me move the camera back here slightly.
So Ekris, seeing that Fenrir went down, is going to cast a 3rd level prayer of healing on it.
May I ask, how many 3rd level spells you got left?
None. That's my last one.
Okay.
I was tracking in D&D Beyond.
Okay.
And...
Just double checking.
It regains 34 hit points.
Okay. Okay.
Ekris is then going to move diagonally, skirting around the demon dude. Again, heading kind of in a at this point, northwesterly direction.
Are you like heading over to here? Or are you just doing a straight diagonal?
Yeah, kind of towards the northwestern pillar from where he's at.
So like here?
Yeah. Is that within range of the thing?
Maybe. Like if you went like here, closer to the lava, you'd be out of his range for sure.
Well, yeah. There's not really a way around. I suppose there's a way around over there. So
otherwise, you could kind of, if you're working to get around this way, you could go around the lava this way.
Yeah, I think that's what Ekris is going to do. And then let me just quick check what bonus actions I might have available to me.
So 30 feet would get you to kind of where my finger is at. Does that work for you?
Yep. What? He doesn't have any bonus action cantrip, so I can't cast another spell. So I guess he's going to continue moving the spirit totem towards the other people. So why don't we move it like onto the steps?
Okay.
So I can move it up to 60 feet. But I'll just move it onto the steps and hope that encompasses some people.
And what's the range on it?
30 feet on either side, or 30-foot radius of who it can capture. So I'd like it to capture at least one or two people. So if I can like position it so that like it can capture Kai and Saral, that would be ideal.
You can get all three, Kai, Saral, and Tink.
Yep, let's do that then. And that would conclude Ekris' turn.
Now, and remind us all what that does again.
So I eventually will allow me to heal people extra if and when that comes up.
Okay.
But as far as it like affects them, it's going to allow them to make better perception checks if they're trying to find like to see things within. It basically gives them advantage on perception checks on enemies in that radius.
Okay. All right, and then so just for those that are aware or around that, just feel free to remember to ask Ekris to make sure they know what they're doing. Because why is my mouse not working? That's weird. You know what? I apologize. I'm gonna have to take like a quick, maybe 2 minutes for a little technical issue. So maybe let's do like let's call it like maybe a 5-minute bio break.
Yes,
does that sound
absolutely.
Good? All right,
we'll be back
Works
in
for
5,
me.
folks.
My apologies. We'll be back in shortly.
right, we're back, freshly peed. Let's do this.
So we start where we left off now with Fuelin is up, and then it looks like with Kai on deck.
All right. I am going to recklessly attack the ones on me and try to get this area cleared so I can go help the others.
That's fair.
So, reckless attack number 1. 18 to hit.
That will hit.
Come on, big money. 13 points of damage.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky. That one's dead.
Yes. And second reckless attack. A 24 to hit.
That will also hit.
All right, come on. Big money, big money. Yeah, 15 points of damage.
And that one is also of the deceased variety.
Snicker snack. All right, now that the field over there is clear, I am going to just turbo speed move down by the 3 drow that were taking pot shots at my boy Fenrir.
Okay, so what's your speed?
Well, I can move towards an enemy as a bonus, and I can take my regular move, so I have 90 feet to play with.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35 would get you there in front of that guy.
So what I kind of want to do is run like right behind Fenrir past that guy, and then put myself 1 space north and directly in between the other 2.
So like that?
Yeah. So that the guy on the right or on the east like takes notice of big old werewolf charging through at lightning speeds, but that the other 2 then are directly confronted by said blazing fast werewolf.
Okay.
And those are all of my actions.
Then it is, I believe I said Kai is next.
Ooh, yeah. Kai's gonna go ahead and fuck up this guy's day. Still laughing. Still using Great Weapon Master.
All right.
It's a 21, I assume, hits.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And then that's a nat 20. Plus 16 is 24 for the first one.
Okay.
Oh, 36 for the second one.
In the immortalized words of Matthew Mercer, how do you want to do this?
So Kai is laughing as he swings the first one, and the giant sword it's less of a slashing motion and more of like a clubbering as he drives this drow captain to his knees. Sensing this drow is near the end, Kai leans close, the laughter dying on his lips. And he says, "This could have been avoided." And he just cuts off the guy's head.
Okay.
At which point he's going to move his 30 feet of movement in the direction of the remaining Drider.
Okay. So let's see. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 30 will get you to just kind of next to the... You're not next to them, you're about 10 feet away.
Yep, that's fine. I took my 2 attack actions in my move. I'm good. And that will end my turn.
Okay. Then it is the house captain who's dead. Ludema is next with Fenrir on deck.
Yes. So I'm going to keep my trajectory towards the chained furbolgs.
So getting up from prone will be half your movement.
Yes.
Unless you have an acrobatics thing, because I know you're a circus bard.
Ooh.
I don't know if you have an acrobatics thing, but I figured it's probably best if I check.
Hang on. Let me double check that.
Because that seems like a cool acrobatic thing to do.
Yeah, let me roll that.
Oops.
23 for an acrobatics roll to get up.
Okay. All right. So then we'll call it 5 feet. So what speed do you have left?
That would leave 25.
10. So 25 would get you here as far as a move.
Okay. I can't really see it because of the camera angle, but that's okay.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Let me adjust. Sorry. No. So you were 25 feet gets you about there.
Okay. Cool. Are there any enemies like behind the thing, or?
There are no enemies behind the ruins that you can see. Actually, your side is looking pretty clear. There's a couple of drow to the south, as well as a very effed up Glabrezu or Dragoloth demon. And you did see Kai chop the head off of a drow guy that was at the top of the stairs, and you see he's making a beeline for the Drider.
Okay. So I did. Do I still have an action, or is that my getting up?
No, that was just a move action, so you still have an action and a bonus action.
Okay. In that case, the Stragoloff that's directly in front of Fenrir, is that still up?
It is.
Okay.
By sheer rage and fury, it is still slightly up.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to try to chill touch that.
Okay.
Well, no. Total of 9.
Dang it, man! The dice have not. You need to put that dice in like a dice jail. That die is.
Oh, this was D&D Beyond. I did this one on D&D Beyond.
Well, Sage
Okay,
D&D
D&D Beyond needs to go into a dice jail or something. Like
I've done regular dice and D&D Beyond, and they just don't like me right now when it comes to attack rolls. So
Sage yourself.
Okay. Well, tell you what, D&D Beyond was cocked, so roll a die and see what happens.
Okay. At 11.
Fate wants you to be a pacifist.
Yeah, clearly. This go around, it wants me to be a pacifist.
Unfortunately, that will not hit either.
Yeah, so that's my turn.
Okay. And then it is Fenrir. So Fenrir is going to rage as a bonus action. And so, like, for those that are watching the battlefield, you see Foylan howling, running towards these drow in this sort of bloodlust and battle frenzy, and just howling like the mad dog he is. But and you see that does draw the attention of the Dragoloth that's sitting there, kind of regaining its breath as it's starting to grasp its claws together a little bit as it starts to take its first step towards Foylan, when all of a sudden that howl is mirrored by Fenrir, who, thanks to Ekris's healing, is conscious. And Fenrir, let's see, what's its AC? 15. And Fenrir leaps up from basically laying prone, kind of like a dog going immediately from laying down to like almost a sit to like leaping up position, and tears into the Dragoloth and rips its throat out. And the Dragoloth is dead, and Fenrir then will move up and attack one of the. We'll move over here and attack the drow. God damn, that drow is still up with 1 hit point. And chomps into the drow's leg, and the drow screams out and yelps out in pain as its leg is mauled. And that will be it for Fenrir. So then it is the Driders. Okay, so for the rest of you, the Drider sees you approach, Kai. Saw her sister get effectively drop kicked into the lava below.
Yeeted into the lava, I believe the kids say.
Full on yeet. And you do notice, actually, as once Tink did that throb, that heartbeat, seemed to go away.
Good.
And you see it look at you, Kai.
Big one.
Sorry, for a second my dog was like barking in her sleep, and I was like, hello. You see she looks at you and says, "We will not be defeated again." And you see she kind of hisses and then leaps into the sacrificial pool.
Ah! Dope monk shit? Reaction?
She's not really close enough for you to do a reaction. And admittedly, unless Kai's got a 10-foot reach, which I don't think you do, yeah, is just going to be out of Kai's reach as well.
Deflect missile.
As this happens, for a moment, as everyone is sort of terrified to see this Kai, time almost seems to stand still for a moment. And you see almost kind of hovering, like standing at the same height, but you realize kind of hovering over the ground in reality as far as the vision of her. You see Lunatara. It's like, brother. And you see she looks, strangely enough, concerned. I was not expecting this. I don't know what this foretells. You've disrupted the ritual. Loth is not going to return, but I realize in your mortar shell you might not feel it. But there is a presence there, gestating, being formed. I feel, I don't know what is going to become of this, but I worry that if you try to take it on, as you and I both know, when it comes to divine things, the rules are a lot more guidelines when it comes to deific powers interacting with each other. And you can feel as the, since Lunatara's kind of let time stand still a little bit, and you almost kind of feel, in some ways, your mortal form sort of cracking a little bit at the seams, for lack of a better term or analogy. Like, it's not painful or anything, but your divinity is showing. We'll put it that way. But you can feel that there is indeed some sort of divine presence, like not a powerful one, not like you and Lunatara and Karuth, pardon me, but maybe like if one were to give it a descriptor, like maybe a demigod. Kind of the borderline godhood, for lack of a better term.
Does it feel fully formed at this point? Or like it's still emerging?
It is emerging, but it is you feel it's... So even though kind of Lunatara stopped time for the two of you to discuss this, that doesn't seem to have effect on the being.
Yeah.
Growing.
Gods exist out of time.
Or from the well. So it is growing and emerging in deific wise fairly rapidly. I fear, brother, if you take it on, even though you're in a mortal form, I don't know what will happen I don't know what the rules are if it happens to defeat you in your mortal shell. And as much as I am a challenging force to you, I don't wish you dead. Because who else would I have fun with?
Delay it.
I'll do what I can.
Give us time. Give me time to learn what I need to learn.
And she actually kind of floats over and sort of takes her hand and kind of almost kind of cups your chin a little bit, and then gives you a little kiss on the brow, and says I'm glad that you're heeding the wisdom of my insanity. Better we deal with the demigod later than lose a deity now.
He turns to kind of look at the party frozen in time. The problem with embracing chaos as you have, when things go wrong on this level, you're never prepared. I remember having a conversation with you and Karuth once, and Karuth said some crack about how I would always be too good to say I told you so. Well, maybe you're rubbing off on me, but I told you so.
And you see she has this kind of mixed expression that's like both tearful and sort of sorrowful, but then kind of a mixture of that with also a bit of sort of joy and laughter, kind of almost kind of meshing back and forth between the two a little bit. And then you see she kind of floats up and just like, "Go, I will do what I can." A friend of yours is waiting on the shoreline. And then she kind of gives you a wink and says, "Don't say I didn't do nothing for you." And then kind of disappears. And then time sort of begins again. You hear, the earth is kind of earthquaking all over again. You see that they're everybody kind of sees, because now the whole island is kind of shaking and rattling even more than before, and like everyone's kind of knocked to their off their feet a little bit, and kind of as you see these kind of oval, I'd almost say a little bit egg-shaped, for lack of a better term, but for three-dimensional purposes, kind of growths start to grow up out of the ground. And even the drow look a little bit afraid as to what this means. So effectively, we're going to be kind of out of combat because they start running for the hills. I mean, unless you want to chase them down and cut them down, but at this point, you guys can easily chase them down and cut them down. I'm not going to worry about that. But you're kind of, at this point, you realize it's almost a little bit more of a time crunch. Like,
yeah, Kai at this point kind of glances at Tink, and he's not panicked. He's not freaking out, but he very calmly says, "We should probably run." At which point he will turn to the rest of the room and bellow with that big giant voice of his, "Run!"
Akros, is there in that little like alcove nearby? Are there tied up furbolgs there?
yes.
Akros is gonna go there and start untying them because that's why he came here.
Yeah,
And-
Adam forgot that was there. So after he yells "run," Kai goes over and does the same thing.
And so you are able to quickly go over and start freeing the furbolgs who, admittedly, with the impending danger, they don't do as much as, like, a few of them put their hands on you, Ekris, but they like, and like
Probably pretty freaked out right now.
one of the younger ones even kind of gives you a bit of a hug, but you see one of the elders is like, "There's not enough time for this youngling."
Akros would probably pick up the young one as he's giving a hug, sling it over the shoulder, and start booking it. So
Ludena is untying the ones that she was heading towards.
Tink would also help. Tink has a lot of speed, so at the very least, he can be the last one out and still be fine.
Sure.
And Kai is carrying every last one that he can manage to carry.
Well, and they can. There are a few that definitely need help, but there are some that are not as injured that can move on their own. You see, Saral begins to go help, but then kind of stops for a moment and then flies over to the wagon as you guys are kind of dealing with the prisoners and whatnot, and then kind of puts her fingers between her mouth and kind of does the to Fenrir. And you see Fenrir kind of lop over, and then she and granted, this is all with the chaos, and you do see there's a bit of a grumble, but you see Fenrir kind of bite down on what would have been some sort of harness or thing that kind of connects the wagon, and it starts to pull the wagon away. As you get the last of the people freed and start to head out, you see those first few egg-shaped, almost kind of like a stony growth, but it looked like it was sort of egg-shaped. All of a sudden, kind of pop open with this kind of gross, fleshy, pulpy sound. As you see, there are, in some you see, looks like humanoid bodies, pale with a pale gray skin, or even a darker purplish or bluish purple tones, white hair. You see some pop open, and you see, instead of kind of dropping out several humanoid forms, you'll see one more of a Drider-like form, half spider, half humanoid. As you realize that these eggs, as they were, are starting to give birth to more drow and more drow-based horribleness and spideriness. You run.
Well, I actually have a quick question, if I can interject.
Sure.
If Fuelon's initial reaction to these eggs kind of popping up out of the ground was to try to smash them with his great axe, would it have done anything to any of them? Or were they kind of more resistant to damage before they hatched?
Tell you what, go ahead and make a... Go ahead and make go ahead and roll damage as if you made a critical hit.
Okay. Uh, 21 damage.
Okay. You slash into the egg. As soon as it happens, there's this screech within inside of your head. Like you pulp into the egg, and you see it as you hit it, it bursts open, and these sort of, it looks like sort of malformed drow bodies that haven't quite, unlike some of the other eggs where they've already kind of grown into mature adults as they spill forth, these are a little bit more deformed and like they haven't fully kind of grown. But as you hit it and cut it open, as almost a retributive shriek of agony, as you hear the screeching of what you don't quite know whether it's people or possibly the horrific sound of what a demon spider would look like. You're not quite certain, but you'll take 21 points of psychic damage.
Ow. Don't like psychic damage.
And as you shake off the sort of nauseating, psychic pains going through your skull that's making your skull feel like it's about to explode, you hear that screech again as you see these kind of deformed bodies kind of and start reaching out for you.
Okay, psychic damage, very not good. Once Fuelon realizes that that's quite that bad of an idea, he will also help grab one or two of the people and run.
That's fair. Admittedly, the sort of malformed zombie drow things or whatever, they don't move nearly as fast as you do because you're a fucking werewolf. So you are able to get to the coast. And as you can see back behind you, you can now fully see that there is a creepy ass island with this like spider thing in the middle. Which is horrible. You're welcome. But funny enough, you do see a ship that is sitting off the coast. And it actually appears that there are a couple of longboats actually on the beach. And you see, looks like a group of frightened sailors that are holding weapons at bay, while you see, with one foot on the bow of one of the longboats, standing very Captain Morgan-esque style, you see this confused pirate or smuggler gentleman, just Captain Giuseppe, looking at this piece of paper and speaking like, "No, this is all wrong. We should be going this way. What are you afraid about? Hey. Oh, buongiorno. Welcome. Have you brought me your treasures? Hey, do I know you?" Yes. Hello, my friends. It's good to see you. Wait, you did not steal my... It's a stupid treasure map anyway, and he throws it out. It's like, welcome, and you brought friends. Wonderful. You wouldn't happen to find any little bit of treasure or something there. We're just looking. We got this map, and...
Pink steps forward, and in Sorrel's voice, "Stop trying to summon the Spider Queen. I've met her, and she's a bitch." And like just pointedly looks back at this gigantic creepy ass spider that's like partway out of the water, and pointedly looks back at him.
We should go.
And kind of looks at Tank confused, but looks at Kai and then kind of looks at the rest of you. And I'm sorry, Lydia, were you saying something?
We brought lots of friends. We need to leave now. I'm really happy to see you.
Okay, well then everybody on board.
Bene.
And you see the crew is like, oh, thank God. Like, and they immediately rush to get everyone on board, and you see they kind of look at you see some of the crew members look at Fenrir, who's sitting there all just covered in blood and gore, and just kind of looks at them and growls a little bit, and then starts getting in the water and starts swimming towards the ship. Because realistically, Fenrir and you all will not fit into a longboat at the same time. However, you are able to gather a few things. Thrall even makes mention, hey guys, we should maybe take these chests that are in the cart too, because the drow aren't going to use them. At least we don't want them to use them, because fuck those guys. So maybe we should grab those things and take them with us. And you head
Yes,
back
that is
to
a
the
thing
ship.
that we do.
Fair enough. You head back to the ship, and because they did not find treasure and can't afford a lengthy trip, Giuseppe and his crew take you back to Oddity. With that, there's a bit of a celebration. At least in so much as, Ekris, you are now among your people.
Yay!
There are some faces you don't see, unfortunately, that all of your tribe, laments the loss, but, there's still a joy to be had in that those of you that you're able to save, that they are here, that your family is here.
There's much fearful dancing and singing. It's not pretty.
They're fake creatures. I imagine no matter how ungainly they are, it still manages to be pretty.
Not this tribe.
No, I have to disagree. Furbolgs can be pretty.
There's a lot
they
of
were
foot
fully
stomping.
kicked out of the Feywild because they can't fucking dance.
This tribe was.
Hey.
So we're gonna kind of hit sort of an epilogue moment here, but I will I will begin it with the next few weeks, or maybe even months. The dynamic in the Badlands has shifted a little bit. Not, and really, it's there have been some changes. People have noted, especially those sailing vessels that are already braving enough to go from Solonel or the other continents, which I'm totally blanking on now, and I apologize. That make the travels to the Badlands in search of fame and fortune have noted the signs of ships that in some cases seem to be almost drawn to an island off the northern coast, an island looking much like that. And from some of these ships disembark several of those that were considered part of Drow society. The remnants of those that attempted to attack Winterfell only 6-7 months ago, something like that. Some didn't even know what drew them. They only felt a kenning, some sort of instinct, and were drawn to this place. Some commandeered ships, some stole some, as it were. They brought with them their various treasures and items and keepsakes and gear, things that they knew they would need. And some even brought more, perhaps thinking to create a monopoly or to do something for wealth. But as the days continue on for those few drow, and you even find when you visit the Silken Strand Inn to visit with Alessandra and Rilia, you even they, from time to time, you see they will look out across the ocean towards the island that is quickly gathered the nom de guerre of the Isle of Spiders. Not very inventive, but pirates rarely are when it comes to naming things. But as far as you and your immediate futures, you are currently back. You are currently safe. As safe as you can be in the Badlands. But what is it you do at this point?
I think having just had a bad dancing revelry with his people, Ekris would actually probably take them back to Solonel, to where they were to reclaim the land that they had lost when they were taken by the Drow.
Okay. And I imagine not only do you kind of take them back to that area, which, funny enough, when you get there, whatever drow were there are gone. In fact, it's like they, in some cases, it looked like they just disappeared or just got up and left.
You would then also tell them that wearing armor is sometimes a really good idea.
Well, and you educate them on what you've learned in your travels to the Badlands to rescue them. Do you also introduce them to the tribe of goblins that you befriended?
Hell yeah, we're gonna have a fearable goblin party. It's gonna be great.
All right. And we'll say that very much there's kind of a union there as far as camaraderie and fellowship. Sorry, go ahead.
As Akris is boarding the ship to head back to Solanel, as Kai has at this point no intention of leaving the Badlands, on their departure, Kai will seek Akris out. And he'll kind of pull him aside, and he'll say, "You have come far and done exceptionally well. And I recognize that my situation has caused maybe a little crisis of faith. My hope is that you will come to understand, perhaps you already do, that sometimes it is simply enough to have faith, if that makes sense."
Does. And if nothing else, I have my people again. And I have faith in them. And as you say,
good.
That might be enough.
They have faith in you. Lead them well.
Well, let's hope we can continue the virtuous cycle. He kind of gives Kai a clap on the shoulder and then goes onto the ship.
Okay.
I just have all sorts of snarky Kira thoughts in my head because she would have just given Kai so much shit for continuing to be vague and all hoity-toity.
Now, you've been a god for 10,000 years. There are habits that are hard to break, okay? Just
yeah, that's
give me a
what
break.
They all say. I thought you were trying to be mortal here. Come on. Nobody talks like that.
10,000 years!
Tank will probably just roll his eyes and in Calandra's voice again. Are you done talking yet?
Well, then, speaking of Tank,
Never gonna get old. Tank.
What do you
Tank is just so freaking happy to have Calandra back, honestly. Because she's his adventuring buddy. And there's so much of the world that they haven't seen. And so I think they just pick a direction and are like, let's go fucking find something new. Doesn't matter what it is.
And admittedly, the Badlands is a very large continent. Do you stay, at least for now, in the Badlands?
No, I don't think we do. I don't think Calandra would be very excited to stay. I think she would want to go, and Tink would respect that.
Well, and she might be a little bit torn too, because, admittedly, if you're out in the Badlands, I mean, for those that don't live in the Badlands, they consider the Badlands to be the boonies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
if they might stay for a bit.
It would be a good place to hide from those that are hunting her, but at the same point,
yeah.
getting back to some familiar things too wouldn't hurt. So it's kind of a torn.
Yeah,
issue.
I think they would talk about it, and while they're trying to figure out where they want to go next, they would stick with Alisaria and her wife. And, hired muscle or whatever defending the Silken Strand Inn.
They would happily hire you on as not necessarily as muscle, although that does come in handy. But they would be more than happy to hire you on as employees, so to speak.
So we would stay there for a while and then figure out and travel with them and see what we can see of the Badlands and wherever else the inn goes, and then probably head back. I don't know. They might head for the Elven continent, because who would be fucking crazy enough for those to follow them there?
There's Theravel, there's Avanon, there's all manner of different possibilities there. What just happened?
Oh, it's a Sorrel.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we're going to whichever I don't even know if they know which continent it is. They're just like, hey, that one over there, that looks fine.
All right. So for the more immediate term, working with the Alessandra and Relia. Perfect. Ludema. What does she do?
He stays for a little while to check on and work with the freed slaves. Sends a sending to her mother at the tavern to say, I'm fine, everything's fine. I'm in oddity on the Badlands. Here's what I'm doing. I'll be home eventually. Letting her know it's fine.
Do you let her know that you found your father?
He should be there. Remember?
Did she? That's right. Yeah. I forget.
Minotaur was supposed to warp him home.
Right. Never mind. Then never mind. Let me retract that.
Yeah. I do ask how Dad is doing. Adjusting to being gone for so long.
He is officially retired from Goop Wicket. He says he can't wait to give you the biggest bear hug that he possibly can when you come back home.
Yay!
Stay safe, and we love you very much.
But yes, Ludema stays in Oddity for probably a couple of months before going back.
Okay. And Phelan.
Phelan would probably, in general, stick around Oddity, but more using it as kind of like a periodic point of return. He saw a lot of bad nastiness kind of springing forth out of seemingly nothingness, and kind of is going to himself, I may have to fight that again sometime. So he kind of starts foraying out into the Badlands, trying to train himself up, strengthen himself, become a better warrior, find magical items that may help, and is just kind of preparing himself for what may be off on the horizon.
Okay. And at some point, as you begin this journey, you get the familiar smell of a large wolf that approaches. As you do see that Fenrir approaches, and kind of nods and kind of curls up by your campfire or whatever.
I just kind of silently nod back at him and just kind of, without any words actually being spoken, reform our little mini party.
And then as a slight wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey thing, slightly rewinding, Kai and Siral. As you are sitting there in Oddity, and kind of watching the festivities as, you've all returned, there's a little bit of a celebration. Icarus is partying with his tribe. Kind of before everyone leaves in general, but you've had the discussions you've had. But as you kind of sit there, kind of, I don't know, even sitting on a rock with Fenrir sort of laying down kind of beside you and Siral Siral just kind of giving Fenrir scritches, which he says he doesn't like, but his little tapping foot in the back is,
otherwise.
Says otherwise. But what did the three of you do?
In a moment when we're pretty clearly alone, everybody else is off either celebrating or reuniting or
they're all it's just kind of the three of you at this point.
Very quietly, without really kind of staring into the fire, without really making eye contact with either Siral or Fenrir, Kai will explain, and I will explain for Jess, who was not here but is now, what happened to him in the moment after the final Drider who was performing the dark ritual flung themselves into the lava pit.
Blood sacrificial pit.
Blood sacrificial pit. He will explain that Lunatara interjected, freezing time briefly, mentioning that while she's very much a lover of chaos, she had not expected this to work, and while we had stopped the ritual for the Spider Queen herself to return, something was affected. Some kind of divine presence is felt again, outside of that of the Prime Triad, or even the Ancients. And it was not a fight that we were going to win at this point. Which is why Kai had advised that we run. And Kai will explain that his intention is to remain here in the Badlands, split his time between Oddity and the Giants, and right wrongs and solve problems and learn whatever it is that he came here to learn, such that when they do have to face this demigod, they're ready.
Makes sense.
And he, dropping into character, and while as always, I never require your company or presence, I do appreciate it. So if you're interested,
I gotta keep making sure you don't die right away. You really don't know how to be human right now.
It's been a hot minute. Yes, it has been quite some time.
And well, of course, we get back to being mortal and we just jump straight into some of the most dangerous stuff that we could. We didn't go off and start a farm. No, we didn't go and start trading wool. We went to go save people, because it's what we do. And it's definitely what you do.
I feel that if it is within one's power to save people, that they ought to. Admittedly, that's what got us on this path. I can't even count how many years ago.
I stopped counting somewhere around 5,000. I decided it didn't matter anymore.
Probably doesn't.
Nope.
There's a new epic ahead of us. Who knows what that's going to bring? It's going to be interesting.
Hey, Kai.
Yeah.
Hey, do you know where we parked Ichabod?
You know, and that's a great place to end it right there.
I'm
Boom.
tapping out right there. I can't.
Yep.
That's too perfect.
Cliffhanger. There you go.
Oh my god.
So
Fucking love Thrall.
So then, as a final, just little epitaph here, you've all ventured into the Badlands, an area that has every horrible rumor associated with it. A continent full of the darkest jungles and frozen winters and cannibals and horrors and terrors, the likes of which modern man has never seen. That no civilized person would vain to dare even go there. And yet, not only did you travel there with far-flung adventures, you've rescued loved ones, you've fought villainous people and creatures, you've met a god or two and even managed to survive the tale. And as Kai said, a new epic is dawning, and who knows what wonders and terrors it'll bring. So with that, I want to thank you all. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay! Yes.
I'm so excited we got to do this, and and this is merely an interlude. While I am definitely handing off the game mastering hat here for this story arc, we have discussed there may be other story arcs that involve or interludes. So so it'll be exciting to see how those stories unfold.
My guess is we'll probably pick up the next interlude of this right around the same time that we're all having to break for Christmas, because that's how this
fair.
shit goes.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Couple of quick things before I let you go. It's because some of the viewers may want to know this. You can all put on your character sheet, maybe not Kai, I'll leave that up to you, quite frankly. You have the blessing of Lunatara.
Even me?
Yes, even you.
You are her favorite person. Are you kidding?
And here's what the blessing of Lunatara does. At some point, so there's two parts to this. At some point, you can use the blessing to gain advantage on a roll. When you do, then the game master, at some later date of their choosing, gets to give you disadvantage on a roll. The second part of her blessing is that should you die, you will be instantly reincarnated.
Oh, what?
And once that, and so each of those parts of the blessing basically are used once, or maybe the reroll thing you can decide maybe it's like once per session or something, but the reincarnation thing would only happen once.
Key word there, reincarnate, not...
Yeah.
Reincarnate.
Yeah.
Because that is chaotic.
Because chaos.
Because chaos is fuck.
Which fully explains why Bryan asked me to find the extended reincarnation table.
Uh-huh. Because until you ran up and hit Tink, Tink was about to find out what the Blessing of Lunatar does real quickly.
Oh my god. That would have been so much fun. Tate comes back as a turtle.
That would be awesome.
That would be hilarious. The expanded table is literally a D100, and each of the 100 slots is filled with something.
Yeah, there's many.
Yeah.
It could,
but at any rate,
one in 100 chance to come back as a turtle.
So you all have that blessing, and then I've got some treasure which we can divvy up off screen. That doesn't have to really matter.
I'm going to say that Kai does not receive said blessing. I'm going to say, due to the nature of his divinity, he doesn't.
It kind of makes sense. Yeah.
As useful as that could potentially be, I just don't think it kind of jives with the overarching story here. So
I want to see Kai reincarnated as a turtle. Come on.
Kai comes back as a halfling. Just
a merman.
A merman. No, a variant human whose father was a minotaur and his mother, or yeah, whatever. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Oh, the game Doomlings was by a company called Breaking Games. I looked it up while we were gaming. So if you're interested, hit them up. I'm very excited to try this thing out. This will air. Actually, I'm probably going to run it during the day tomorrow, if I'm being entirely honest. So it'll run in our normal time slot tomorrow, 1 to whenever it ends. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. But thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. Well, it's evening for us. Whenever the fuck it is you're watching this. Thank you for joining us. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing where these characters go in the future. And yeah, we will be back at some point. So, love you all. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye.